is nowhere short of legendary all the way through to the Christian McCaffrey touchdown
A
pass.
lot less fun than our last post game playoff pod. All right,
A
let's
little
roll.
bit.
The 49ers allowed only 4.3
Hey,
yards per
hello. It
play.
is the Go Birds podcast. Elliot
To
Park, James
completely
Seltzer with
answer
you.
the bell with
Obviously, I
his step
mean,
picks, and I just
that
don't think that the
sucked.
step picks are going to market
Every
because of how
fear that
much
we
they can
had,
put the
just,
run outside the ball,
we saw it on
given
full
all of the
display in that
injuries. But
second
it
half. I
came
mean, the
down to
penalties,
one last heart
unbelievable.
rending
Like, they
stop
were like, not
when Eric
only is this
Kendricks
penalties thing going to come
held
back to
up
bite us,
Jalen
but we're
Hurts'
going to, like,
touchdown pass.
make it a thousand times worse than you could expect. In the worst situations, the offense goes disastrous in the second half, as like all year long. One half fine, second half disgusting. Like the play calling, we talked about just Kevin Patullo's job. I mean, he's gone. Like honestly, I bet you if we did a poll of like real Eagles fans, not bots, not this, I'll bet you it's like 99%, if not 100, would want him gone. Now, AJ Brown wants himself gone. Like, talk about checking out of a football game. Like, and we don't know why Nick was yelling at him, but I have to imagine it's some sort of good reason. Like, it just, that sucks. Like, that was look, it was, and in a Dennis Green fashion, they are who we saw all year. We hoped they weren't that, but they were. People thought they were. But just to see it all, it was like they do. Jack is obsessed with the video yearbook with the Phillies. This was like a video yearbook of the season in one game.
Yeah.
At the worst moments. So that sucked. There's no business losing that game, especially when Kittle goes out, especially with the multiple turnovers. Like, just I am like more sad than mad, but like I think people have every right to be mad. That was an absolutely unacceptable, infuriating loss. Like, that was awful.
Yeah, I mean, they just could never put it together. The offense never could put it together. We talked about it all season, after every game, during every pod during the week, talked about it to Jordan Mailata on every Mailata show, talked about it on every Go Bears radio. Like, will the offense put it together? And what could it be that would put it together, right? Is it Jalen running? Is it hurry up? Is it is it a new, whatever it is, right? They never did it. They absolutely just never, ever could put it together. And now their season's over because of it. They had every chance to win that game. They got the ball at midfield twice, scored 3 points off of it. They got the ball late, 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go, timeouts, 2-minute warning, like down 5, or 4, every single chance to win that game. And the offense just flat out couldn't get it done. I'm sure we will talk about Patullo.
And we saw, after seeing Matt Stafford and Josh Allen and Caleb Williams in these exact situations. I don't blame Jalen. Like, there were drops. So I'm not saying it's just on Jalen. I'm just talking about we saw 3 other offenses at the end of games go win it in the last minute, and then you see the Eagles not going to get done. It's like particularly frustrating.
Yeah, I would just say that, like, look, we will do the Patullo conversation. He is probably gone. You're right. I would think there's a good chance he's not back. But I would just say, like, let's talk about the players for a minute too, and not Jalen.
I think it's on everyone. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm so with you, dude. AJ, the Devontae drop, but AJ especially, like, that was like one of the worst playoff performances. Like James Bradbury against Tampa in the 23 playoff, 24, whatever that year was, is the worst game I've ever seen an Eagle play in the playoffs. Like, AJ tonight fought for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, so I think the Devontae drop at the end is absolutely huge. The AJ drop is huge. Now, at least they convert after the AJ one, so it doesn't end up being as bad.
But there were multiple AJ drops.
There were. So actually, I thought that was the only bad drop. The other 2 I thought were tough, but not drops. Like, that one was a huge time drop. The Devontae drop over the middle, like, AJ and Devontae have to catch that ball, right? And I think it just summarizes what really this season was. Nobody on offense had a great year. Like, Goddard had a great year. You could argue Jalen didn't have a bad year, but no one on the offense was good. Saquon wasn't good. Devontae and AJ got their 1,000 yards.
Goddard and Tank.
Right. Like, I mean, this offense, and again, we did the halftime show with Tucker, and it's like they were on pace for almost 500 yards, right? At one point of the game, they were on pace for almost 500 yards. They were on pace for like 30 points. They just completely crumbled. Completely. They had 177 yards on their first 3 drives. They had a net, I think, of -1 on the 3 drives after that. Didn't score a touchdown on their final 8 possessions. And look, the missed extra point. Like, if Jake Elliott makes that extra point, we're probably still in overtime and not doing it right now, because it's 23 to 20, and they get within field goal range, right? So all the
Now, to
fears
be
about
fair,
this
the
team.
Niners guy, if they blocked that though, more than missed it. So it's a
Yeah,
little
regardless,
different,
I'm just saying if that extra kick is
Yeah.
made, then it's a very different game. And you're right, it could play out 1,000 different ways. Maybe they go for 2. Who knows what they end up doing? But regardless, like every single thing that hurt this team during the regular season hurt them in the postseason. And I brought this analogy up a few times, but I think it's very applicable. Like last year when the Phillies were going through their season, it was, well, in the postseason, the bats will come alive. In the postseason, they won't be sloppy.
No,
And what
you're
were they in the
right. Yeah,
postseason? They were
you're
the
right.
team that they were in the regular season. And I think because the Eagles had won, we had hope that maybe, they could turn it on. They did have some good offensive games towards the end of the year. They did have impressive wins. Like all those things are true. But this is a team that all year had the game too close, had games closer than they needed to be, that went too cold for too long. And ultimately, at the end of the season, in the final game that ended it, they were who they were all year. The running game was probably better than it was all year. Sloppy mistakes on offense, penalties, long droughts without scoring,
And
not
look,
coming
the
up when you
defense
needed
giving
to.
up some big plays, big drives. I mean, guys like Demarcus Robinson eating the defense's lunch. Like, give Purdy credit, McCaffrey credit and stuff, but and Shanahan and all that. But like, honestly, like part of what we hung our hat on was like, if you had told me the Eagles were going to score 19 points, I would have said they probably win the football game. They didn't, and I'm not saying like I blame the offense more, obviously overall. I'm just saying tonight nothing was as good.
Well, so see, to what you said there, like, and I agree. I think most people would have said the Eagles defense will hold them to less than 20 points. But I always thought that was such a flawed thing to a certain degree all week. Like expecting an NFL defense to hold one of the better offenses in the NFL to less than 20 points in a playoff game when they're like second in the league in yards per
But after they
drive.
lose George Kittle and they're still moving
No, I get it.
around,
I get it. I'm just saying
I
that's
get
how
your point.
low we
I
set
just
the
think
bar.
on the whole, I was expecting, again, blame the offense way more, blame the coaching more, but I can't say like the defense did everything I expected from them tonight.
Yeah, well, I think the defense gave up more points than we thought, but they had the 2 turnovers. Like they did come up with big stops.
No, it's
at
not
the
the
end.
defense's fault.
Now,
Don't get me
I
wrong.
will say they did give up a touchdown drive at the end of the game.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm talking about. That drive
yeah,
is
they
the thing
did,
that's
right?
sticking in my craw. Yeah.
Right. So I don't think the defense performed like we
Hold
thought.
them
I
to
don't
a
think
field goal there. The Eagles win. They go down.
you're
They
right.
kick a field goal there.
100%. And they had him there on third down.
Eagles
Yeah.
win
so
the
like,
game if they hold, are most likely.
So this is the thing. All year, these games were coin flip games, right? Like the Bills, coin flip game. The Rams, coin flip game. The Bucks, to a certain degree, ended up being a coin flip game. Like the Packers game, coin flip game. Detroit, coin flip game. Even last year, they were really good in one-score games. Eventually, it was going to come back to bite them. And I think what really hurts for this one is they had a chance to make it more than a one-score game. They had momentum. But the other thing that stands out when I think about this game is just like the silence at the length, just like the feeling of when the offense was struggling and the feeling of when they were going off the field. Even when they got the ball back, like when they were driving, it was not like an atmosphere where you were thinking like, okay, here we go. And I'm not saying I blame the fans at all. Like, I don't see why they would believe this offense would do it. But I just feel like all year, the vibes on this team were not great. And I think AJ's part of that too, right? You bring up AJ, like him and Nick yelling at each other like that. And I know Nick said, it's just heat of the moment, whatever. You don't yell at somebody like that unless there is pent up aggression from either side.
It was not playful,
right?
Elliot. Like just from the view.
Certainly
on TV,
wasn't playful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like it looked heated, really.
Yeah, and this was my worry coming into the game, that if the offense didn't play well, it could be a slap in the face of a realization that like we're not fixing this. Like our season is ending and we're not fixing this. And all that being said, they were still so close. A Jake Elliott missed field goal and one more drive away and they win it.
Yeah.
But this team ultimately just was never able to put it together. I'm not trying to do like a end of season thing.
Right.
We'll do the pod, but like that's just what I think about with this Eagles team. They were unable to put it together. And now there will be changes. Like the defense has a lot of decisions to make just in terms of like free agents and what they're going to do. The offense has decisions to make in terms of who they want to bring back, right? Like we've often viewed this AJ Brown thing as a, will he ask out? Like, they have to ask themselves, do they want to bring him back? Kevin Patullo, do they want to bring him back? Do they want Tyler? Do they want Tyler Steen to be their guard next year? And here's a question for you: do you want Lane to be your right tackle next year? Right? Like,
I totally
can you
agree.
go?
Can you
go into a season to
he might retire after all this?
100%. But like Jahan Dotson, he's going to be a free agent, right? Like there are so many decisions this team has to make, and I think too, like this, we've talked about this on the pod. this is now since 2000 or 2003, I think it is. They've won playoff games in back-to-back year one time. Like they're just they are one of the best run franchises in the league. They are one of the most competitive.
you're
but
right.
like they've struggled to put together consecutive deep playoff drives year after year. And I know that's very hard to do. I'm just saying it's another year where it's done. So yeah, I mean, I think like as I sit here in the press box and think about this loss, it's just how close they were, but still how far it felt, because it just never, even the final drive, they go down, right? Like dink
I
and
had
dunk,
no
simple
hope. I had
plays.
no hope.
But I agree, but like the Devontae play hits him in the hand. AJ hits him in the hand. And let's talk about Jalen, right? Like Jalen, look, if we're gonna give Jalen credit for the wins, he has to hold blame for the loss. The offense was
no
not
doubt.
good, right?
No doubt.
But I mean, look, I'm gonna rewatch the game. I don't think there were many negative Jalen plays. Like, correct me if I'm misremembering,
No,
but I
look.
can't think of like really bad misses. I can't think of the interceptions. I can't think of sacks he shouldn't have
I'm
taken.
sure there were some,
have
but for
taken.
the most part, I thought Jalen played fine. Like the weird thing that, especially when you go back and look, is like, were there more opportunities to run that weren't taken? Like the fact that
Well, that's what was surprising too. I thought they were
my
going to
point.
run
Like
the
that's
ball,
like the
yeah.
biggest surprise of the whole thing was like, where were the Jalen runs? Like they
Yeah.
called that one design one that came on a hold, and like it wasn't there, and even scrambling wise, like it wasn't there. And that's maybe the Niners took some stuff away. Who knows what happened, but that was surprising to me. But I'm with you. Look, I think when you stack the blame, I think Jalen's much lower. Look, I think at the end of the day, at the top of blame, you have to put Sirianni and Patullo for this game.
I agree, and I think Sirianni first. Sirianni first,
because he's the head coach. I agree, and especially because like not only was the offense bad, and it's been bad, and like Patullo is his guy, his buddy, whatever you want to call it. Like,
right,
like
yeah,
numbers,
it's his guy. It's his guy. They've been together for
like,
10
sure
years or whatever.
Him to get all that. So like that's a bullet number one. But also like the penalties, like we've given him so much credit in past years about being able to fix that type of stuff. Well, you know what? Like when it goes the other way, you got
never got fixed. 100%.
And it cost them. Like if you ask me, in all honesty, what's the single biggest reason they lost this game? It's the penalties over all the other stuff. If they don't have those penalties, like two of them, they win the game. Like it's like that's how huge it was. And so I think you have to, I have to kill Nick for that. And to your point, whether it's him and AJ, whether it's Jalen and AJ, whether it's AJ just being an upset thing, or it's not like at the end of the day, Nick didn't get the culture under control to a point where they were able to make something special of it. And that has to go on Nick. And look, the Patullo thing, I think Nick deserves the first. But I mean, Patullo also has to own it too. It's Nick's guy, but he was just bad all year. And I know we went back and forth, but for the most part, like he never, at no point this year, none, outside of maybe a few plays back to back here and there, did anyone feel like this guy's in a roll on a roll. This guy has a rhythm. Like none of it. Like you watch Shannon in that game, it's like, and it wasn't even an amazing game, and you could see stuff where it's like, oh, they got the defense confused. Look at what they're doing there. Ben Johnson, like you saw that as soon as he realized the Colson loves something in that game, he was just like, boom, Colson love. They are at a disadvantage from a coaching perspective on the offensive side of the ball, and I think Sirianni gets blamed for that. But I think Patullo is the biggest reason, because I do think, I think there's going to be some high-end offensive coordinators on the market right now. Go get one.
I agree.
No more inside hires. Just hire established guys, whatever they are, guys who get fired from jobs, whatever. Like, just bring in dudes who've done it and proven done it. Like, because Patullo was a disaster, and Nick is not. Whatever people feel about him as a head coach, that I believe in him as a manager and a game manager, head coach, leader, man, culture setter, all that. But when he has to be involved in the offense, it doesn't work, and he's not good at it. Like, it has to change. From that perspective.
I agree with 98% of everything you just said. The only caveat I would give is if Devontae catches that ball, they probably win the game. If Jake Elliott makes it, I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, I do think that there's going to be a lot of like Patullo blame, and rightfully so, and Sirianni blame, rightfully so.
You're right.
The only point I am making though is like
too.
the players that are more important to their success, the players that are paid a lot of money, made big mistakes on that final drive. Jalen Hurts, actually, I just thought of the play, throwing into triple coverage to Dallas Goedert on fourth down, right? So while I agree with you that the offense did not look coordinated this year, the offense in theory did not meet its potential. Like AJ Brown also just didn't play that well this year. Like
Yeah, he
even
was
on the
bad, yeah.
on the deep shot early in the game where
That was one I was talking about.
like
Yeah,
he looked slow there, right? On the other play, the ball
yeah.
hits his hand. So like while I agree with you that
The
the
other
offense
one,
was
like I think it still should have been a flag, but like he didn't sell it at all. Like if he tried to sell it being a flag, like he was
you
getting
talking about
held
Dotson?
attention.
Dotson, yeah.
No, I'm talking about Brown. AJ
Oh.
had 2 on that first drive or whatever.
Oh, okay,
Early in the game, remember? Like one was like like you said, like looked slow. The other one there, it looked like I even tweeted, I'm like, how's that not a PI? Maybe it was the second drive, whatever it was. It was early in the game, and it was like it should have been a PI call, but even still, like he didn't like sell it. Oh, he's just like, oh, okay, it was like it's like he just
there was just like a feeling of disinterested from AJ all year during the game, which is crazy because during the week when I'm around him in the locker room, you don't sense that. It's really just on game day. But to finish my point is mostly what I'm saying is like you just think about this year and the players on the field. And again, like it's Nick's job to make sure the offense is better at this. It's Nick's job, by the way, also to win a playoff game, right? Like they went into the year. So all that is on Nick, and we will have to.
They were the defending champs, Elliot.
They were, yeah, they're no longer the champ, right? Exactly. But like, again, Devontae, AJ, Jalen into triple coverage. Like there were plays today. Saquon had a drop at the beginning of the second half that goes right to him, right? Like players did not get it done this year. Now it's the coach's job to find ways to get it done. And honestly, like I've ripped into Shanahan and all these things, but you look at what happened today. Shanahan lost Kittle. He like didn't have great receivers, lost a lot of guys on defense, and he found a way to get them to get 23 points. Like he found a way to, and I do think there is a bit of irony to the fact.
Like a ton of credit to Robert Saleh too.
Right.
Whatever he did, like he played with a bunch of nobodies and like handle business. They played hard with effort.
And Vic won't catch a lot of heat, obviously, because he had an outstanding year. But like the chunk plays today, where the Eagles players tricked on that, like outcoached, right? Like the play that ultimately ended their season actually, but the trick play to McCaffrey. Like I like the Eagles don't do stuff like that. They just fundamentally don't believe in trying to do stuff like that. And so you saw today, like they have one thing, they have their bread and butter offense, and if Devontae catches it, we're probably talking about them driving for a game-winning touchdown. But like ultimately, when this team has trouble, when this team is in a funk, when this team can't move the ball, when this team isn't scoring, they don't have a way to get out of it, right? And so like today with the 49ers offense going through a cold funk, Shanahan called a trick play. It sparked them up. Purdy made a big play on third down on that final drive. Jalen, while he didn't make a bunch of mistakes, he also did not have many special plays. Like there were not many special plays.
The
4th and 11 throw, yeah. Well, the other thing I'm thinking about, like on that final drive, Jalen steps up in the pocket. He's getting ready to run, gets tripped from behind. There was so much room there. Like if he were to, so like they were this close. And the special players this year didn't make special plays. And that falls on Nick, it falls on Kevin. But ultimately today they lost this game too because Devontae let a ball go through his hands. AJ let a ball go through his hands. Like I'll have to go back and look at the offensive line. It seemed like the pressure was pretty good. But that's the thing about the personnel. Like
those guys too. Like we'll give Nick the blame.
Ton of penalties. Yes. Yeah.
A discipline, but the guys are still making penalties. Like that Cam Jurgens hold that was massive on that design run was a hold. They made mistakes as players.
Yep.
They are the ones who false
Darius Cooper.
All that stuff, So it's like while I blame Nick overall for the lack of discipline as a team, and that was something all season long, like the players also need to take blame for that. I mean, you guys are veterans. You guys won the Super Bowl last year. Like that's massive penalties in big spots over and over.
So, and I think before I head down to the locker room, like the last thought I'll share is just like, I just kept thinking up in this press box as the season was falling apart. And it was like, I do think that this team, like they could have pushed their way through for a run. And I don't think we were wrong to believe in them. But I do think ultimately, like they need to get away and they need a break, right? And I think that's what you felt towards the end of that game. And it's what you felt from the fans, honestly, like in the stands. There was more anger in the feeling at this game than there was excitement. And I get it. They didn't give fans many things to be excited about. But like there was never a sense of belief. Really. And I think that kind of describes what this season was. Like there was hope that they could turn it around. There was like a very occasional like feeling of like, here we got it going, but there was never a sense of confidence and belief in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, it sucks the season's over. Like I really thought we were going to go and do another Super Bowl, but they just could never, ever put it together. And the season's over because of it.
Yeah, I think honestly the thing that we had hope from was justified. I think it's a wide open field, and I think you've seen it. There have been 4 games so far, and every single one's come down to last possession. Like, so,
Yeah.
like
And players made plays in those games.
yeah,
Caleb made a
exactly.
play.
And
Matthew
vice
Stafford
versa.
made a
And players
play.
didn't make plays like Devontae and
Exactly.
whatever.
Yep.
Like,
100%.
and AJ. So, I think that was where the hope came from. And I think that was justified. The point, to your point, the Seagulls team just wasn't able to take advantage of it like they weren't all year
Yep.
long. And that's a shame because it was an opportunity miss.
Yeah,
all right.
100%.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we got in the locker room. Obviously, we will continue to have pods, react to everything. It's going to be a wild offseason. Interesting. We're not going anywhere, but no dailies, sadly. We'll figure it out. But
the streak continues. 38 or 5. 38 or 5.
So we'll have a pod out later this week, I'm sure, and react to everything. But should be interesting. A lot going on. So get down in the locker room. Follow Elliot on social media to get all that info in the daily pod tomorrow. And until then, man, he's Elliot.